Hello everyone. So welcome to my channel. Today we are going to deal with the first chapter of our NCERT book First Flight Class 10th. The first chapter, which is a letter to God. Before dealing with the chapter, I want to let you know that my channel mainly focuses on calligraphy only, but I also upload some videos of some interesting kind of things, like which some information also which I think that I must share with you all. So please subscribe to my channel, and now we are going to start the story, a letter to God. So this is the story. Before you read, they say faith can move mountains, but what should we put our faith in? This is a question this story delicately poses. So, from our childhood only, we are told that we must have eternal faith. We must have eternal faith in God, our traditions, our customs, our Mother Earth or Mother Nature, anything like that. It depends on our families. So, we are told from our childhood. But often we get confused that what should we have our faith in. We are told different things from different people. So what exactly we should have our faith in? So this story is will tell you about this only. Lenko is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. Does Lenko's letter reach God? Does God send him the money? Think what your answers to these questions would be, and guess how the story continues before you begin to read it. So there was a farmer named Lenko. He writes a letter to God when he falls into a difficult situation. The situation is that his crops are ruined, that means destroyed. He asks for 100 pesos to God. So what are pesos? It is a monetary unit of several countries in the Americas and the Philippines as well, that originated in Spain. So there's one activity given here, which is of the money order. And yes, I've also wanted to tell you something about the author. Actually, I forgot it. So the author is G.L. Fuentes. G.L. Fuentes. His full name was Jorge Lopez Fuentes, who was born on 17th November 1897 and died on 10th December 1966. He was a Mexican novelist, poet and journalist. He was one of the leading chronicles of the Mexican Revolution. He started writing at the age of 15 when the Mexican Revolution began. Many of his books are related to the civil conflict. Later on, he became a teacher at a school in Mexico City. In 1921, he began writing for the El Universal. He was awarded the National Prize of Arts and Sciences in 1935. So that was all about the author. Now we must move on to the story. Before moving on to the story, I would like to tell you something about the activity given here. So this activity is about money order, the cheapest way of transferring money in the olden times. So our fathers, our grandparents, our parents and grandparents used to transfer money through this method only, through money order. But now we don't do like that, just because of thanks to the technology. So this is the money order form given here, which our ancestors, not actually ancestors, our parents and our grandparents used to fill for transferring money. But nowadays we are having in it money order still also, but we don't use it often. Just for formal purposes, if it is there, then only we use it. Otherwise we don't use it, because we are too much technical now. So I don't think that we need such kind of money order now. But yes, for rural or backward areas, money order is still important. So there's a exercise also given here on the basis of this money order only, based on money order only. So I would like to tell you the answers to this. Number 1, in addition to the sender, the form has to be signed by the payee, P-A-Y-E-E. The number 2, the acknowledgement section of the form is sent back by the post office to the sender after the payee signs it. The space for communication section is used for sending a message. The form has 6 sections. The sender needs to fill out 3 sections and the receiver 2. So let us start the story. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. So there was a house at an isolated place, which was the only one in the entire valley. Means that house was located at in a valley, and that was the only one. Except that house, no more house was there. No more houses were there, and sat on the crest means that house was located on the top of a hill. Low hill means low heighted, of course. From this height, one could see the river flowing down and the field of ripe corn. Ripe corns, this indicates here that the season of harvest was about to come. So, the river, the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers. Now, what does dotted means? Dotted here means that the flowers were grown in between the field, in between the corn field. In between means to say they were scattered here and there. And that always promised a good harvest. Good harvest means every time means every year there was a good harvest for the family to survive. Good yield means the production was good for the family to survive. The only thing the earth needed was the downpour, or at least a shower. So the single thing the earth needed was a shower, or the downpour. Downpour means a heavy rainfall, and the shower means something like drizzle. Throughout the morning, Lenko, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So maybe the place where Lenko was living, the monsoon would come from the northeast side, like in India it comes from the south. So Lenko was just staring at the sky since the morning only, and since the morning only Lenko was staring at the sky for hoping for the rain to come. So, who knew his fields intimately? What this phrase mean? I would like to tell you that intimately means that he was very much familiar with his fields, that he knew that his fields really want a downpour, or at least a shower. So he told, "Now we are really going to get some water, women." The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." So women means his wife only, of course. So he told to his wife that now they were really going to get some water, means now it was really going to rain. So the women who was preparing supper, I hope you all are familiar with that. Supper is just supper and dinner are not so much different. They are not having much difference in them. Supper is just a snack time before dinner and after lunch in the evening. But many a times we use these terms simultaneously. So the women who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing. Yes, I think God is willing to rain it here." So the older boys who were working in the field, while means their children only. So the older ones were working in the field and the smaller ones were playing near the house only. Till the women called to them, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that, just as Lenko had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. When they were having their meal, the rain came. It means big drops of rain began to fall from the sky, just like Lenko has predicted means thought of something that will happen in the future. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. From the northeast, many means huge mountains of clouds were seen approaching. Means huge mountains is a metaphor here, that we are comparing clouds with huge mountains of clouds. Means the hugeness of mountains is compared to the mass of clouds. It's a metaphor used here. So approaching means they were coming towards them, coming near them, or to say. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed. So, the man, means Lenko, went out in the open to just feel the pleasure of rain on his body. Like in areas like Rajasthan and Haryana, where we are not having much rainfall, there, like, farmers are very happy when rain comes. As I'm also from Rajasthan, so I also feel that I can feel that happiness of his, that when rain comes we are so much happy that, like, we think that everything have come, like the thing means all our hard work that we did throughout the year, we have got the, wait a second, so let us start again. Actually, I had to go somewhere. So where was I? Yes, so he came back to his house. He went outside, felt the rain on his body. Then he came to his house and exclaimed, he means told that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. So he told that these are not the raindrops, they are new coins. Why new coins? Because rain will come, the production will be more, and then they'll sell the production, their harvest, I mean their crop only. What was there? Corn. They'll sell. He'll sell his corn outside in the market, and then he'll get new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces, and the little ones are fives. So he's just comparing his happiness. He's just telling his. He's just exclaiming his happiness. He's just telling about his happiness, and he's just saying that when he'll sell his crops, he'll get money. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. So he was too much satisfied that yes, the rain has come, now everything is going to be better than before. So with a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers. The field of ripe corns, which was means I told you before that flowers were scattered in between. Flowers were grown in between of his field. So he told that his field is just covered with a curtain of rain. Means it was going to rain. Means it was raining at that time. So he was so much happy. It's really getting bad now. No, wait. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly what happened, that wind began to blow, and hailstones began to fall. Just imagine the scene when a happy rain, peaceful rain converts into a storm. So that was the only scene, that was the scene there also. So these truly did resemble new silver coins. Now his saying got true. Lenko told that these are like coins, but now they are truly resembling the coins, because they were in the color of coins, and they were like coins only, solid form. The hailstones, I hope you all know, hailstones means the rain in icy form, to say in an easy way. So the boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So boys, as they were children, they ran out in the field to collect the frozen pearls. I also, when I was a child, I just used to collect all the, now also I used to collect, because now also I'm not much bigger, I think, because we must always be a child from inside. So it's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. The man told that he was like in a tensed situation. He just expressed his tension with the saying that it's really getting bad now. I hope it passes quickly. It did not, but it did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. For at least an hour, the hailstones fell and fell and fell on the garden, on the hillside, and the cornfield also, which got totally destroyed on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. When the rain passed, the field was totally white. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed, and the flowers were gone from the plants. Lenko's soul was filled with sadness. Soul means, I hope you all know. So, Lenko's soul was filled with sadness means he was totally depressed. Means the whole year he worked hard for some crops, and that just flew away with one stroke of rain only. So, when the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons. When the storm passed away, he went outside and stood in the middle of his field and said to his sons that a plague of locusts would have left more than this. Locust, you all must be knowing that locust is it's written here also. Some insects are there, yes, which fly in big groups and destroy crops. Means these are very common in India. Locusts, every time it comes, every year it comes from the Pakistan side and enters Rajasthan, and then it comes here in UP and Delhi and all. Locusts, every year they come, means they have a fixed visit to India every year. So locusts, plague means group only. So plague of locusts would have left more than this. So he told to his sons that if locusts would have come, no, then they have left more than this, but this hail has left nothing. This year we'll have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. Means they were so much deep distressed. They were so much distressed by this loss. That all our work for nothing. Just Lenko was thinking that they worked very hard throughout the year and that was for nothing. They didn't get anything. There's no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. So this is first sentences of Lenko, then of his wife, then again of Lenko. So they were telling that here there's no one who can help us, and we'll all go hungry this year. Means we'll have nothing to eat. There is oral comprehension check. I don't think I have to discuss it with you all. So I'm continuing with the chapter itself. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. But everyone was hoping that God would. But everyone was thinking that God would surely come and help them. Not actually come, but God would surely help them. So don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lenko thought only of this one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Like from the beginning only, from our childhood only, we are told that don't do any work because God is there. If you are thinking that no one is watching you, then you are wrong. God is watching you from there up there. He has his eyes on everyone, and he can also just get to know that what is there in one's conscience. Conscience means in itself, what are we thinking, what are we thinking, he can also derive that also. It's not about saying only. Lenko was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. Lenko was an ox of a man. Ox means he knew nothing, just means he worked hard in the fields just like an ox. But still he knew how to write because he was this much educated that he can write. He could write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. So that Sunday means the following day. That Sunday, in the daybreak. Daybreak means dawn. Dawn means in the morning when sun used to means before the sun rises. The dawn, I think everyone of you know it. Daybreak is dawn. So he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God, means it was a letter to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes. Because the hailstorm, after that it's not written because he was instructed from the beginning only, from his childhood only, that God see everything. So he just continued it like that because the hailstorm. I hope you all are understanding here, but if you haven't understand anything, then you can write it in the comment box. I'll surely see that. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled went to the town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Heartily means in a friendly way. So he started laughing by seeing the address to God. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. Amiable means friendly and pleasant. So the postmaster, who was a fat and amiable fellow, means friendly fellow, he also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, means immediately he turned serious because wait, we are going to see the reason just now only, that why he turned serious immediately. Tapping the letter on his desk, like we used to tap now on a table, just took it, kept it inside and just do like this. Commented means told, what faith, I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, stirring up a correspondence with God. So this is the reason why he immediately turned serious. He took it in other way. The postman thought it like, what a foolish man, he is writing a letter to God. But he took it in another way. He thought that what a faithful man, means what a faith he has in God. It's amazing. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. So he didn't wanted to shake the writer's faith in God. So the postmaster came up with an idea, answer the letter. So what was the idea? Answer the letter. But when he opened it, earlier he was not knowing that what was that and what was written in that letter. He thought there must be something that he must be saying that please do something for my like my crops have been ruined, so please bring rainfall, something like that God can only do. But when he opened the letter, it was evident that the answer he needed something more than goodwill. That in the answer, he should not have, he can't just write it. He should need something else, something more than goodwill and ink and paper. He just don't need ink and paper and goodwill, but he need more than that. But he stuck to his resolution, and what was more than that? The money. But the postmaster stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave a part of his salary, and several friends of his were also obliged to give something for an act of charity. Obliged means they were means do something to help someone. So they were also obliged to give something for an act of charity. Charity, a good deed. Deed means a work, good work. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He little more than half means you'll come to know, not the exact I can tell now because it's written there. It's exactly we can't just guess the exact amount, little more than half, but it's written, so I'm telling you 70 pesos. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lenko, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. So he only signed God. The following Sunday, Lenko came a bit earlier. So the following Sunday, he came a bit earlier to the post office because at that time he was at an isolated place, so the postmaster will not move everywhere in the small towns and for only one letter to give. So the person has to only come to the post office. So he came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So the postmaster who was content, experiencing the contentment of a man. Contentment means a state of happiness or satisfaction. So he was experiencing the contentment of what? Of a man means a man who used to feel that a man who feel that contentment when he do some work, who perform a good deed. So Lenko showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. So this phrase must be like that. Lenko showed not a slightest surprise. You must not see it in a negative way, because you must see it in a positive way. The writer is trying to tell that he was not at all surprised to see the money, because such was his faith. He had so much faith in God that he was sure that the letter would come. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lenko that what he had requested. So he thought that neither God could have made a mistake in giving the money, nor had he denied Lenko. So a thought came in his mind. Immediately, Lenko went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling on his brow. Brow means eyebrow, and wrinkling like they were wrinkled. Eyebrows were wrinkled. So he started to write with much wrinkling on his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. He read, so the letter said, God, of the money that I had asked you for, only 70 pesos reached me. That the money I have asked you, out of that only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much, but don't send it through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lenko. What he meant to say was that he thought that neither God could have made a mistake, nor would God have denied Lenko from giving the money. So he thought that the reason for the reason for not the means he was not having the full amount of money. So the reason was that the post office employees only took the money, the rest of the money. He thought like that. So just imagine what was the state of the employees would have been like. They did a charity work, and what they got, they gave a part of their salary. to an unknown person and what they got. So this was the story. These are the exercises here. So the story is over. I hope you all liked the story. If you liked, then please hit the like button, and also tell me in the comment box if you have any queries, or if you are not able to understand anything, you can ask me in the comment box. And also, if you want any such videos on any other chapter, then you can tell me. Thank you.